What's up, everyone? TheAireaidLord is back for just a general update at the current moment. Nothing to report in the grand scheme of things. I am planning on doing a review of Season 4 of The Boys, just because that season has been very bizarre, and I feel like there's a general audience that would appreciate that type of video. But in terms of content for the channel, I know it's been a while. Um, the last video I uploaded, I believe, was a few months ago regarding the Fallout TV series. Um, and before that, it was all of the vlogs for The Ones Who Live for The Walking Dead. And I kind of predicted this back when I was forecasting what I was going to do with this channel, that once Rick's story and once The Walking Dead ended, that would kind of, be it for the channel. I was really only keeping it around to, back in the day it was video gaming, but then it evolved into The Walking Dead, but then the main Walking Dead show ended in fall of 2022, and then Rick's story basically concluded a few months ago, March, April of 2024. So after all the build up and the years of waiting, it was just 6 quick episodes and that was it. I've already voiced in past vlogs how much I disagreed with that. My friend Jeff from the Walking Dead world, we did a co-op video together where we talked about the implications of that. There are still seasons 2 of the Negan, Maggie, and the Daryl Dixon series, and Carol will be involved. I will still, probably at some point, when those come out, give my opinion. I believe next on the docket is Daryl this September for Season 2, and then I would imagine spring of next year is going to be Season 2 of Negan and Maggie. But I mean, again, I already kind of addressed this in the sense that I just feel like a lot of The Walking Dead is kind of done. There was this brief surge that they had with The Ones Who Live, but you concluded the story of the main character, essentially. And it was as happy an ending as you could give Rick and Michonne and their kids. All someone had to do at the title and at the end credits was write, and they all lived happily ever after, which for The Walking Dead is kind of crazy, just with the amount of war, destruction, and death we've seen in the show. For that to be the end result is it's quite a fascinating thing. But it has ended, and it's been over for a bit. And in my mind, like, I'm kind of moving on to other shows. I'm watching Shogun right now with a friend. I'm also watching The Boys. I've been following The Boys for ever since it came out. And Season 4 has had some mixed opinions online. I saw that the creators basically cursed at the fans, which, I don't know, I think that's a big no-no. I feel like, that never ends well when content creators go after the fans. I don't think we've ever seen an instance where that's been a good idea. Um, so, so there's that. Uh, Cobra Kai is like another show I'm watching. That's in its final season too. The final season, season 6, I guess, but that's spread out over a longer period of time. But I still think it ends next year. Season 5 of Stranger Things is still in production, but that'll probably come out sometime next year. But that's also the final season of that show. So, and then it was announced that The Boys will end with Season 5 whenever the hell that comes out. There's still 2 more episodes of Season 4, which will end this month. So, there's a lot of these shows that I followed, and this has been happening over the years, right? In 2022, we had the end of the Breaking Bad universe with Better Call Saul. The end of 2022 was also the end of the Walking Dead era stuff. And then, there was a brief resurgence. Again, I say brief because these spin-offs had their highlights. And the first episode of The Ones Who Live is one of the best pieces of Walking Dead content that's out of all 11 seasons. It's amazing. Um, but a lot of these shows that have been on for a while are just they're ending, and I think a lot of studios are having problems replicating the success. It just seems to be just keep doing more of the same, and it'll hopefully eventually it will strike success, which is never the way to go about it, in my opinion. I mean, you're seeing this with superhero fatigue with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've seen Star Wars Acolytes hasn't been getting that great reviews. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the spin-offs for Star Wars have been very enjoyable. Like, I've enjoyed The Mandalorian. I enjoyed the Kenobi series. I know I haven't really talked about any of these series on my channel in a review, but I'm in tune with a lot of the pop culture stuff that's kind of going on. Um, but I just think that there's a lot of shows that were staples, and now they're either ending, they're in their last season, they're approaching their last season. Um, I'd say the Fallout TV series is maybe really the only one that's brand new, right? That got reviewed for a second season. I did an entire discussion vlog with my friend Pete, which is the most recent upload on this channel, where we talked like very, very extensively, and I used old uploaded archived YouTube footage, which is still on my channel, when I did playthroughs of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, back when I had the time and all that to do full video game playthroughs. So all that footage is on my channel, and I basically incorporated it into Fallout. But, series like that, where they're just getting off the ground, they're kind of newer, right? And that's why I'm trying to broaden my horizons, like watching Shogun. It's like, okay, that's a historical piece. My friend is big into history. So trying to change things up a little bit. So anyway, I guess this is kind of just a review of the entertainment landscape, but the main reason I started this video and wanted to make this video and had it in my, like, I was doing work a little while ago, and then I'm like, oh, like, I haven't uploaded a video in a long time. I think it had to have been since April, right? Like, I don't have my YouTube channel pulled up right now, so I can't see the date when I made my last video, but I know that it was the Fallout discussion one. But yeah, I guess that just explains my inactivity. I mentioned this in an anniversary video about a year and a half, 2 years ago, but there is also the news for me surrounding the fact that I will be getting a book published at some point. The fact that I was talking about it all the way back then, I mean, it just tells you the delays that happen in the industry. But, luckily I have other income, so I don't have to, be completely dependent. And, I mean, this is a debut for me. I did self-publish, as some people know from way back in the day. I did self-publish a book back when I was in high school, but I systematically went through and removed any trace of it from the internet. Like, it had been online, I was shipping physical copies, but at this point, I mean, it was high school writing. I was a junior. Like, it was indicative of weak, uninspired, well, not uninspired, it was just weaker. Like, it was just clunky, like, my understanding of character, plot, climax, like, just all of the beats of the story, like, they weren't there. So, I'm not going to keep that online for people. And I've had people through mainly the Dark Side Phil community, where I used to be involved doing footage and gameplay with DSP, who still does that stuff. People who want as much information on me as possible, because he has his own culture that people like or don't like, and it's very TMZ, and you gotta get all the information. And I know, because I used to be involved, there's people who want TMZ drama type of information from me, like what happened with this, and that. But in reality, I haven't been involved or have done any of that stuff in years upon years. So there's nothing on my end that anyone would need to know or get. Like, I'm out of the loop. I mean, people send me clips about stuff. I don't watch the guy's stuff. I don't really know what's going on with any of it. And again, I'm not even really on YouTube. Like you saw, my most recent upload was months ago. Like I'm not like I'm kind of very separate from all of it because I'm doing my own writing, which is separate. You know, stuff that's post self-published book. And then my own job and my own day-to-day, which have always been separate entities. They've never crossed over the YouTube channel ever. So yeah, that's basically kind of just a rundown of a lot of stuff. The debate in my head, like I'm still so torn whether I want to promote my book when it comes out. I don't know when, but because the thing is, if I'm not uploading content on this YouTube channel and it's so sporadic, like you're not seeing videos from me for months. Like after this video, I'll make one to review season 4 of The Boys. That much I know I'll do. But then after that, like what am I gonna like? Because I'm not. If I'm gonna just stick with Walking Dead content, like the Daryl Dixon show doesn't come out till September, so I've got like 2-3 more months until I'm. And again, like I'm less interested in the Walking Dead stuff now because the main reason I was connected to it was the CRM and Rick and all of the like. I made so many prediction videos talking about all that stuff, and it's just gone. There's no season 2. There's no speculation. If there was any of that, I would have enjoyed talking about it. And I know that there are some Walking Dead YouTube channels out there that are like putting misleading information in the titles of their videos, saying, "Oh, Andrew Lincoln discusses season 2 confirmed." It's like, no, season 2 is not confirmed. There is no piece of information in season 1. It wraps up. Like all they needed to do was write the end as you're panning out with the family hugging and the CRM helicopters flying over. That's all they needed to do. They needed to write the words "the end" on the screen, and it cuts the black, and that's it. But, freaking people, are unsatisfied, and they want, like, more. But again, like, what more are we getting? The CRM's defeated. There's nothing more. So yeah, I guess to go back to my original point, how am I going to try to... Because this book that I'm going to eventually promote, it's a brand new universe, new characters, new rules, storylines. Like, it is as OG original as possible. It's its own thing. It's a brand new thing. It's related to nothing else. It has been concocted in my brain and put onto the page. And I've spent a long time trying to get it published, and I'm very close to doing so, but I have to think about, how do I want to market it? Do I want... Because there's so much old stuff on this channel. There's a bazillion video game playthroughs. There's footage from gaming conventions from over the years. There's cooperative playthroughs. There's, like, vlogs that I did with friends. Like, all the Dark Side Phil stuff. Like, there's convention stuff I did with him 11, 12 years ago. And that's the footage that people, like, bring up and be like, hey, I have a question about this thing that happened 12 years ago. I'm like, dude, like, I wish I cared enough about stuff that happened 12 years ago. Like, if I was still caught up on, like, lost loves and lost romances or some asshole in high school who, stole my lunch money and I was still hung up over it and searching him on Twitter and Facebook and trying to send nasty messages to ruin his life. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it just seems like a waste of energy, So there's a lot of that. I mean, for me, the footage on its own is fine, but I just don't know what purpose it serves anymore. It's an archive. At the end of the day, it's an archive, and I'll want to show, like, friends, family, new friends, significant others, eventually one day, if I plan to have, kids and stuff, like, that would be such a cool thing. Like, hey, like, your dad has thousands of videos on his YouTube channel, Some are better than others, but the history, reacting to The Walking Dead since Season 6, covering The Walking Dead since Season 4, from 2014 to 2022, and now 2024. It's been over 10 years. It's been over 10 years of me covering a show on this channel. That's crazy. that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So I don't want to get rid of any of that footage, but it might be in conflict with any writing that I would try to do, right? Like anything, if I'm trying to do discussion vlogs about characters in this book or world building, there's a lot, you could do a lot of different stuff. Where do I point people? Do I make a new YouTube channel that's like, Chris author channel? I mean, that's an option. I am, it's just, but in that case, I have to start all over, right? I'm starting from 0 subscribers. Whereas on this channel, I have like, what, 12, 13,000? But like, let's be honest, a lot of those subscribers are inactive accounts or people that subscribe to me so they could watch The Walking Dead, freaking, free, pirated when I was uploading those reaction videos. So, or they're people that came from Darkside Phil's channel, which we've already established is something that I don't do anymore. So, is that fan base even really worth anything at this point? And I know there are some people, but like it's not the 12,000, so maybe making the new channel wouldn't be such a bad idea. I mean, I know I'll have like a website. I know there are some things I'm going to be making that are going to be brand new. So then if I make those and the branding and the imagery like is so distinct, because this is like on this channel it's TheAireaidLord. Like, and ironically enough, that's the name of a character, the villain from the self-published book. So even that name ties into my writing, which is funny. But, I'm not going to go around promoting this new book saying, like, oh, I'm the TheAireaidLord promoting this book. Like, no. I know people in the Darkside Phil community know me as the TheAireaidLord, but for this book, I have a real name. I have a real last name. Like, I don't need to use an online alias from 12 years ago, on doing any of this. So, I realize this video is just me getting a lot of my thoughts out, but like it's also for fans who are like, oh, I like seeing your videos for discussions about The Walking Dead and so on and so forth. I understand like me not uploading in a while might be disappointing, but I'm also just trying to lay out my thoughts on the table, like why I'm not doing this, why I'm considering this. Like these are the things that are going through my head. So, there will be new social media things that I make for my writing, and more than likely they'll probably, but what I'm more interested in is probably more of the influencer side of things. What I mean by that is, like, I've already been in discussions in the background with other YouTubers that have significant followings, way more than me, and I'm saying, like, hey, if I give you a review copy of my book, will you talk about it on your YouTube channel? Like, and the end result of that is people buying it. Like, I'm not trying to have people come flock to a YouTube channel or some social media. Like, getting followers is nice, but that final sale on the book, that's the end goal. That's the final optimized conversion. I'm going to dip into my marketing language here a little bit. Like that's the end goal. Like the the ROAS, the return on investment. What we're trying to boil down to, that retargeting, that remarketing goal. Like that's what we're trying to boil down to. So I've been having those conversations. Again, it's all premature. It's nothing I'm going to announce yet because I don't have the book deal in front of me. Like it's moving. It is. There's no news I can report here, but it is moving in a positive direction. So, so yeah, that's basically what I got for you guys. I don't know how long this video is because XSplit counts in like freaking code or whatever. The frames encoded. I don't know what that adds up to in minutes, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you. I know I don't get to freaking upload stuff that much to the channel. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna upload this video like a day or two after I've made it. So, it's probably gonna be late anyway. But this was a good opportunity to kind of talk about where things stand with the channel, where I'm at with things, why I'm not uploading as much. Again, I will upload the review like in 2 weeks. What is it? There's 2 more episodes, so it'll be in 2 weeks. the finale of season 4 of The Boys, and I do want to review it because I have a lot of thoughts on it. I really enjoyed the first 3 seasons, but this 4th season, something went wrong in the writers' room. There are enjoyable parts, but like there's a lot to discuss, and obviously I'm not going to do it here. Plus, there's still 2 more episodes, so maybe things can look a little more, interesting, brighter towards the end. Not that 2 episodes can salvage what this season has done, because I think a lot of the damage is already kind of done. Um, but yeah, that's all I have. So thank you guys for watching, and that's what I got. All right, peace out.